Heavenly Father, we come to you in this hour, asking for your guidance and protection to our virtual gathering today. We thank you for the gift of life, the gift of family, the gift of work, and the gift of friendship. We thank you for this great opportunity to bring us together in this session as brothers and sisters. Bless the committee, the facilitator, and the attendees of this gathering. May we continue to value and appreciate the true essence and meaning of life with the help of your grace. And as we go along to our discussion today, we humbly pray that you would deepen our understanding. Lord, enlighten us and give us wisdom every day. Forgive us for our shortcomings and remind us to always be mindful of the things we do in life. We offer our life and our decisions to you, O Lord. May this gathering today create a memorable experience and a fruitful outcome. We ask this through our Lord Jesus Christ, our Redeemer and our Savior. Amen.
Good afternoon, everyone. Mayong hapon sa tanan, and welcome back to school. For the new faculty and staff, welcome to Silliman, and we are truly happy, very happy to see that many have heeded to this call of this first upskilling activity of the school year 2024 or 2025. Last year, we had what we call the generative AI framework for Silliman. And this year, we start with what we call Silliman University Artificial Intelligence Guidelines. Before the start of classes, especially for college, at least we are well equipped or have the idea on how far we can integrate generative AI into Silliman education. With that said, let me introduce the man of the hour, the person behind it all, so that we can be guided clearly and on how to include generative AI in our classes. Friends and colleagues, please help me welcome the Director of the Global Study Center, Dr. Dave E. Marshall.
Good afternoon, everyone. And it's nice to be back online. And I'm sure all of us are still preparing our syllabus, our curriculum, our content, our materials ready for the next week's first day of classes or first week of classes. As mentioned by Alfie, last year we introduced to you the framework of the artificial intelligence integration at Silliman Education. Last year also, it was a journey of trying to introduce and trying to orient teachers, not just teachers, but students, on how artificial intelligence could leverage teaching and learning. In the past year also, there's a lot of improvements and a lot of developments when it comes to generative AI. There's a lot of risks, there's a lot of challenges, and there's a lot of issues that somehow can be mitigated. And there are ways in order to fight with all these challenges. Just 2 weeks ago, or I think last week, the Board of Trustees approved the implementing guidelines of the integration of artificial intelligence to Silliman education. That is why we are here today to share with you the implementing guidelines that we have developed for the implementation of the Silliman community. Welcome. As I'd mentioned, last year, we introduced to you this framework. The framework is divided into two, the teaching and learning, which refers to classroom, and on the right, the operations and management that refers to operations, obviously operations and management that refers to the workplaces. In the classroom, we valued how generative AI or artificial intelligence in general could augment content generation, pedagogy, improve research and development, as well as assessment. On the other hand, reference, writing assistance, organization, reporting are the emphasis on its implication and impact into operations and management. All of this in order to be ethically and responsibly integrate generative AI or AI in general, it must be contextualized. There must be validation process in order for us to implement this responsibly. With the main idea that when properly used and ethically implemented, artificial intelligence could increase productivity among teachers, improve personalization of learning among students in order for have or to all of us to have an engaging learning experience for a better customer service, better work balance, and embracing and enhancing innovation. This AI integration framework is transformative, which is significantly impacted education at Silliman University. This document emphasizes, or our framework emphasizes on 5 values and 10 principles. These are innovation and ethical use, continuous learning culture, collaboration and engagement, student-centric approach, and mission-driven integration. Mission-driven integration, because as we all know, the vision mission goal of Silliman is revised with emphasis especially on one goal, which is on innovation. And its principles includes embrace AI as an innovation force, prioritize continuous learning, actively engage in partnerships, prioritize ethical practices, utilize AI for personalized learning, optimize administrative processes with AI, foster responsibility and accountability, promote equitable access, enhance customer service, and align AI integration with our mission. From these values and principles, this is articulated in the different sections in the implementing guidelines. The implementing guidelines consist of 8 sections in the document. The framework, implementing guidelines, general classroom policies, do's and don'ts, guidelines for AI declaration, usage, transparency, and detection, examples of AI integration. We also have a training room for faculty and staff and some of the summary or a checklist of the different initiatives that we are doing. For this afternoon, I would like to emphasize on 2 major components in the implementing guidelines, which are the do's and don'ts and the guideline for AI declaration, usage transparency, and detection. Before I will proceed, I would like to acknowledge all the 33 e-learning point persons uh, uh, virtually from all departments and units in the university. I'd like to recognize also the support of the Dean's Conference for appointing and sending the e-learning point persons who help us validate the implementing guidelines that we develop, particularly on the do's and don'ts and some other aspects in the policy. Of course, our acknowledgement also to the Research Innovations and Publication Office who look at the research component, the College of Education, who helped us review the first revisions or versions of the document, and of course the Office of the Vice President for Academic Affairs. Um, Chapter 2 of the implementing guidelines is formulated, or basically this guideline is formulated to all stakeholders in the university. And that includes also faculty and staff training, orientation, ethical practices, inclusive learning materials, transparent assessment, diverse AI tools, privacy, and etc. This includes 10 general guidelines: faculty and staff training, student orientation, ethical AI use, inclusive learning materials, assessment, down to monitoring and evaluation. Chapter 3 also of the document consider is the general classroom policies. When we developed the general classroom policies, we were um, we know for the fact that we have different academic disciplines, and there is really a diverse academic disciplines at Silliman University, and we cannot encapsulate putting them together as one prescriptive policies for all disciplines. So what we are basically formulating is a general sense to make sure that these general policies or these classroom policies are flexible, and each faculty, each discipline, business, nursing, and other disciplines or colleges in the university can then articulate and adapt these policies following your specific teaching and learning needs. We just want you to make sure that when you craft a classroom policies, you will touch the following: AI tool familiarization, there should be inclusive content creation, AI assisted assessment, ethical guidelines, transparency, feedback mechanism, data privacy, subject specific applications, the continuing or continuous professional development, and the collaborative lesson planning. Each of these is described or defined at the implementing guideline. These implementing guidelines basically just to encapsulate the classroom policies emphasize here AI tool familiarization, inclusive content creation, and transparency in AI assisted assessment. And ethical research guidelines are also ensured, and continuous professional development and collaborative lesson planning are also promoted to keep all of us updated on AI best practices. On do's and don'ts, which is basically the highlight of this afternoon session. These do's and don'ts are guidelines for using AI tools within the university's AI integration framework across academic disciplines. While this guideline offer the general principle, every one of us are actually encouraged to adapt. You can revise your own, you can modify as long as it is relevant and appropriate to the course that you are teaching in relation to the specific learning outcomes of your subject or your courses. All teachers are encouraged to incorporate this list into their syllabi, particularly another section in your syllabus or in your syllabi called classroom policies. There are three major sections that we suggest under AI classroom policies. First is on content generation. Example to this is what are some guidelines when you give essay, when you give discussion type of assessment. Another also is assessment, recitation, quizzes, and some of the performance tasks, and on research, case studies, and terminal reports. Let me present to you specific do's and don'ts that we formulated in relation to each one of these. First, on content generation. For example, you wanted to ask your students to compose a poem, to compose an essay, to write a discussion, a reflection, and etc. What is allowed? we suggest that the students should understand AI assistance, understand the role of AI as an assistive tool in content generation, aiding in searching, organization, and language refinement. B, number two, ensure originality. Ensure that the content generation with AI assistance remains original and reflects personal understanding and insight. What does it means? Part actually of our orientation is we will also orient students about this, ensuring originality. There are ways because we acknowledge that artificial intelligence is just a teaching support, and that critical thinking of the content should be generated or should be originated by the learners. Review AI generated content. Review and edit the AI generated content to ensure accuracy, coherence, and alignment with the assignment requirement. Fourth, learn from AI suggestions. Use AI generated suggestions as learning opportunities, understanding how the tool refines language and structure for future writing. What are the things that we suggest should not be done by the students? First, do not depend solely on AI. Avoid relying entirely on AI generated content. There should be validation, contextualization, balance AI assistance with personal insight and critical thinking. Obviously, do not copy. Students should not copy AI generated content without proper attribution or understanding. Plagiarism rules still apply. And students should not overlook the importance of personal input and understanding in essay composition. As I'd mentioned, part of our training is we'll be introducing students these do's and don'ts. We will try to unpack how students should be able to use AI that still we can maintain the unique perspective of each student. Do's and don'ts in terms of assessment, such as recitation, quizzes, performance tasks. Don'ts. Those. Use AI for preparation. Use AI tools for preparation, such as reviewing materials, creating study aids, or practicing concepts related to assessment. Seek clarity on AI integration. Seek clarity from teachers on how AI tools may be integrated into assessments to prepare better and understanding expectations. There is a separate section on giving instruction for teachers on how to declare the use of AI in any form of assessment. Collaborate responsibly. Students are encouraged to collaborate with classmates and peers responsibly, sharing insight gained from AI tools while respecting academic integrity. Don't. Students should not use AI tools during assessment unless explicitly permitted by teachers. Students should avoid sharing AI-generated answers directly with classmates and peers during assessment as it may compromise the integrity of individual learning. Students should not use AI as a substitute for personal understanding, and that they should ensure that they comprehend concepts rather than relying solely on AI-generated responses. On the third, do's and don'ts for research, case studies, and terminal reports. Those use AI tools for data analysis, literature reviews, and generating insights to enhance efficiency for research processes. Consider ethical implications, integrate AI recommendations, but students should not compromise ethical standards. Students should not overlook the value of human expertise and should not blindly trust AI generated result. Verification, triangulation of data, validation, and contextualization should still be the best process in making sure that originality of the idea or the concept should be coming from the student. Those are the do's and don'ts that we suggested as part of the classroom policies. On the guidelines for AI declaration, usage transparency, and detection. This part of the document provides essential steps for students and faculty to declare their use of AI tools in academic submissions. It emphasizes the importance of transparency in AI usage by detailing instruction for submitting generated work. And this guideline also include measures for teachers to give clear instructions regarding AI use in assignments. It outlines the use of AI detection tools such as the Turnitin that we have to ensure the originality of the student work, highlighting the significance of direct communication between teachers and students to verify the authenticity of submissions and maintain academic integrity. This is our suggestions on AI declaration. All submissions of thesis manuscripts and other written performance tasks must be accompanied by a statement of declaration as follows. Again, we also adapted this from several universities abroad who is also declaring their own policies and guidelines in artificial intelligence. So this is the form that we suggest. All submissions should follow to this, which means part part of our chapter 3. Again, there is a separate training, upscaling on how to innovate our chapter 3, how to innovate our methodology, specifically on the data processing, including ethical consideration sections in chapter 3. But just to introduce to you, the statement of AI declaration comprises of 4 tables. The first column that includes that they have to declare the AI tools. They have to list what are the tools that they use. Second, descriptions on how the information was generated, what are the prompts that they use, and the descriptions of how the output was used in your work or in the work of the students. I did this we experimented this actually last year. We started this with my students in the College of Computer Studies. In the guidelines, you will see also samples. For example, for AI tools, you can write in some other universities it's actually in the form of in a paragraph form, but our suggestion is to have it in a columnar form or in a table form so that it's easy to find the data. So AI tools, you can say ChatGPT, Gemini, or any other tools. Description of how you use, you can simply say generate materials for background research and self-study in drafting of this assessment. Actually, even in journal like Scopus also released their AI statement in an article. It more or less similar to this. And then on the third column, the prompt use. Let's say, for example, on the screen, write a 50-word. In other words, the student should document what are the instructions, what are the prompts that they use when they interact the generative AI. And the last column is basically after the output, what they did. This is actually to ensure that they have validated the content, that to ensure also that they check the content, and that we can also, as teachers, we can also determine if the students have actually do their tasks when it comes to validation. So for example, the output from the generative AI was adapted and modified for the final response. And there are many other samples. In the document, you will see samples on how the students, again, will be telling the students on how to write a statement of AI declaration, because there is a separate upskilling for those teachers teaching research so that they can also introduce this statement of AI declaration. On giving instructions, teachers must also provide clear instructions regarding the level of AI usage permitted in any assessment or assignment form. For example, you can actually you can say or you can include this in your instruction, especially assignment. In this assignment, students are allowed to use Gemini or to use ChatGPT to improve the clarity of your ideas or to improve grammar. Be sure to include and document all the prompts when submitting your assignment. This is an example on how you give instructions. I personally I put this in my assessment. Um, Guidelines on AI detection or detectors. Teachers may use AI detectors. However, let's all be reminded not to be overly reliant on these tools. Opinions on the accuracy of generative AI detectors such as Turnitin are not supported by scientific research yet, because this is Turnitin is actually a product introduced by a company. Relying solely on these tools can lead to errors such as mistaking AI generated content of human work, which can negatively affect the academic environment. There are already big universities that also warn or remind teachers not to be over reliant with AI detectors. So why are we still promoting Turnitin, which is part in our MySoul? Because this is the baseline, this is the first step that we should do. Turnitin is actually included in our MySoul LMS in order to aid in assessing student work. However, teachers again should use the output of these tools as a reference only. Teachers should engage with students through direct communication, follow up, validation for additional assessment to address suspicious submissions. Part of also of the upscaling is how to detect AI generated by automation and by simply looking at the document or the manual. We call it the manual detection. So using Turnitin in MySoul, as I'd mentioned, teachers are encouraged to fully utilize MySoul LMS because this is the first way that we can do. We have 40 students, 30 students in our class, and it's so difficult to, again, because there are many, sometimes it would be nice if there is an automated who can at least start checking AI generated content by creating assignment for students to submit their thesis and other documents, and by setting up Turnitin for plagiarism detection. In the document, we gave you detailed instructions on creating assignments. You can view Turnitin integrity reports for assignments. You can even set your Turnitin for essay quizzes, and you can check similarity, not only actually AI generated content, but the so-called plagiarized content, or for Turnitin, they call it similarity index. In the document also, we showed several examples. I cannot discuss this one by one, but later toward the end of my discussion, I will give a link where you can download the full copy of the implementing guidelines. So in the classroom, in terms of content generation, pedagogy, research, and assessment, we tried to map them vis-a-vis to the different functions and features of our MySoul, including on how the Silliman ways teaching and learning modality, especially on technology-oriented on-site learning. There is also a portion for in the area of administration and management, especially for our secretaries and office personnel, in terms of referencing, in terms of writing, organizing, and reporting. With all of this, it is also a big responsibility for the Global Study Center to make sure that all these implementing guidelines are properly implemented, and that we formulated or we crafted the upscaling and avenues for learning. In this semester, we themed this as upscaling, knowledge sharing, and fostering a responsible digital ecosystem with emphasis on my soul, responsible use of technology, AI, and innovations. This is for teachers, staff, students, parents, and of course, the community in general. There are sessions that are online, purely online, like today. There are sessions that are we required in person because are hands-on, and some sessions also are hybrid. For this year, we hope to have we organize a virtual classroom organization is an actual hands-on of organizing your learning management or your virtual classroom to make sure that it is comparable or acceptable when it comes to the basic standards of a virtual classroom. We have to be reminded that the existing teaching strategy that we have is actually called the technology enhanced on-site learning. Yesterday, I received a call if it if is it still allowed to deliver in blended or in hybrid. As far as I know, the existing policies that we have is not yet superseded by any guidelines. And what we have is the so-called technology enhanced on-site learning, that all courses must be delivered on campus, face-to-face, in person, with MySol LMS to supplement and enhance teaching and learning. I received also a call yesterday. Sir, we have like an internship type of course where students cannot come to Dumaguete because they are already in the internship area. Can we deliver that via Zoom or what? The existing policy by the Commission on Higher Education is as long as we are delivering our subjects, our course in making sure that it's at least 50% of this is spent in person, and that is actually what we adopt in the technology enhanced on-site learning. Because because it is technology enhanced on-site learning, we are only uh, bound for two types of approaches, which is the blended learning and the hybrid learning. It could hybrid flip with synchronous online, rotational for blended. It could be conventional, enrich, and advanced. As I'd mentioned also, for this year, we hope to have a more standardized virtual classrooms for each for unit and different colleges. So we'll be offering also mapping competency monitoring in MySoul, especially those who are center of excellence and center of development, because the commission will be roaming around the entire country to evaluate universities, colleges, and schools on how we were able to implement outcomes-based education. And one of the criterion there is how we were able to map the achievement of our competency. Our MySoul, luckily, can actually do that as long as our assessment is set in the MySoul LMS. We will also introduce to you quiz structure analysis. If your quizzes are really valid, the reliability, value, and so on and so forth. And then proactive monitoring strategies for supporting underperforming students using MySoul PLD. We'll be delivering also training on responsible use of technology and, of course, AI-related topics on some of the innovation. So these are the topics that we designed for teachers: generative AI for teachers teaching research, generative AI video tool for teachers, presentation AI tool for teachers, integrating micro-credentials as teaching strategy, integrating digital badges in the classroom, spotting AI, manual and automated techniques. No? That's either just check out the modality, whether in person or online. And then we also offer upskilling for our secretaries and office personnel, generative AI for office secretaries, minutes writing, how to craft announcement, and some other ethical considerations. We will also offer basic data privacy for our office staff. We also prepare digital parenting because part in the AI implementation framework is to involve also our parent, especially in the School of Basic Education, particularly on YouTube and apps management. Then for students, we'll be orienting them the do's and don'ts. That's the one that we presented a while ago. And then, together with the University Research Ethics Committee, we'll be orienting the students also on the submission process of the system. And then we will also train and orient the students about the thesis form, the statement of AI declaration, for the students. We would like also to invite you master classes in digital tools for these are with CPD units, no, for nutrition, dietetics, and for the registered nurses. We also offer education and gender studies. This is also with CPD units. And in October 3 and 4, if you can send we for the first time will be offering a masterclass on using generative AI in research. This is a 2-day with 6 modules, and we will be also offering AI policy making for educational institutions and some other topics related to innovations handled by our non-degree programs unit. We also invite you to enroll in asynchronous learning. It is actually divided into 4 major topics on fighting information disorder, online teaching, and digital technologies. We have monthly offerings here, but all of these actually will end by July next year. At any time, at any rate, you can also have you can finish this at your own pace. That is why it's called asynchronous learning. These are actually SOOCs, or the version of Silliman on the massive open online courses. To download the AI implementing guidelines, the classroom policies that we introduced to you, the technology enhanced on-site learning guidelines, the MySoul manual, and watch the recordings of the previous upskilling, because many departments, many colleagues also informed me that we are all busy during Wednesday and some other days. So we will make sure that we can record all the upskilling that we do so that you can come back and then you can watch the recordings. You can actually go to faculty training room. You should have a faculty training room in your MySoul. It's a virtual classroom called faculty training room where we put everything there. You can attend, you can go to the training, you can attend, you can download your certificate, and etc. So there is a separate virtual classroom. When you click AI integration and upskilling to that classroom, you will be directed to the framework, to the recordings, and all of those content that we develop. Before I will end, we circulated through the Dean's Conference also a suggested classroom policies towards a responsible use of digital technology. This encapsulate all existing policies in the university on technology in on-site learning. For example, if you will be allowing students to use electronic devices like digital dictionary, smartphones, etc. Your issue about is it allowed if a student will take us photos or videos, again, it's up to you. If you will permit it only with the professor's approval, teacher's approval, and these files are for personal learning use only and must not be shared in any form. There were issues before, like how come that our content, our PDF, our slide was shared by the students, and etc. etc. My take, as long as my first question is, did you write that in as your classroom policy that you are not allowing students to share? Because the rule of thumb is once it is available online, that is shareable as long as it is attributed. No, there is attribution. So if you don't want your material to be shared online, you should have a an instruction that all material should not be shared to any cloud and that and so on and so forth. You can copy that one. Virtual classroom policy, so be prepared. Learning resources, this is the one I'd mentioned to you, like on number 3. Learning resources in different formats are available for viewing and downloading from the virtual classrooms. None of these materials should be screenshot, forwarded to friends, uploaded, or shared on social media or on the internet. If that is very clear in your syllabus and you explain that to your students, at least the students is aware that they are not allowed. And that if they will do that, then of course the college can reprimand and perhaps modify your policies, college policies on the interventions or any disciplinary actions. All topic related to that and so on and so forth. We also provided a checklist for a responsible social media user. It's actually 1 to 10. Many colleges also are inviting us during their orientation because we can assist explaining to the students all these technology-oriented policies and guidelines. No, so 1, 2, 3, and the fourth actually to this part of the suggested policies, classroom policies, is the do's and don'ts that I introduced to you a while ago. I'm now on the second to the last slide. Part of the implementing guidelines are the initiatives done that we are doing. If you'd like to know what we are doing so far for more than a year already as far as AI integration is concerned. We summarize all those activities. With that, I would like to end that at Silliman, we are promoting the use of artificial intelligence, but we have to regulate it. We have to be reminded that we are not just passive users of technology, and we are active participants in shaping its trajectory. We I'm not sure if you monitor how the developments is very very fast in terms of developments and improvements of generative AI. Let us foster a mindset that encompasses innovation, ethics, and commitment to making a positive impact. Let me end my discussion by quoting the director for AI innovation at Singapore, who said, AI is not going to replace you. You are going to be replaced by someone who uses AI to outperform you. In the context of the teachers, AI will not replace us. Definitely, it will not replace us. Technology won't replace us, but AI can make us irrelevant. Daghan kaayong salamat, everyone.
Thank you very much, Sir Dave. So that was quite meaty. So in a span of maybe a few around 30 minutes, no? Sir Dave was quite fast about it, but everything is available to you in the training virtual training room. So you could always don't forget to also include the summarized version of the policies, no? It's I think it's a 4-page PDF file, and we should be able to include that in our orientation, especially those that will be having one during the first day on Monday. Okay, so we're now on our question and answer, and it's so timely that Sir Ablong has a question here. Are there
We will,
sanctions?
yeah.
Yes, are there sanctions for those who do not adopt the AI implementing guidelines of the university? Has each member of the sole staff executed assigned written declaration on data privacy.
Yes. Thank you to that, Attorney Joss. Next to this is we will be discussing the DPO. I think that's under your office, on how we can ensure that DP practices are still maintained while we are making sure that AI is utilized as a teaching and learning platform. Just like before, when we started the Soul office has given the right and being the office who handles all those teaching and learning data. There are policies internally in our office who can access all those learning data, teaching data, and that we follow also certain protocols. And we wanted to co-op to your office or to the data privacy office in all of this, making sure that we have coordinated giving the comments. Yes, Professor Ablong. Ay, Sir Cookie. Hi, Sir Cookie. Long time no see here, sir.
Anyone
Oh,
else who would want to, sir? Okay. Anyone else who would want to ask a question? Hi there, Sir Cookie. Maybe you'd want to clarify something over what Sir Dave has mentioned in his talk,
I'd
in his sharing.
I'd like
Yes.
to thanks also. I saw some members in the UREC committee. Part of the part of the lineup activities in the monitoring process is to collaborate also with the UREC committee in terms of uh, the AI declaration statement part in the ethical considerations on how we can articulate the implementation. While we will be training also our teachers who are teaching research, we wanted also to collaborate with our University Research Ethics Committee on the specific implementation to all of this.
Okay, so Sir Dave, we have
Uh,
one from Doc Lily.
Hi, Dukli. It is still an answerable question. Many universities are still looking for answers to this. I should know because we've been in talks with different edtech leaders in different universities. There is no universal, just like before Dukli, when Grammarly, when plagiarism result, similarity result, during the first few years of the implementation, there were also discussions on what is the global acceptable standard until time came that many journals released that 5% similarities and acceptable. Other universities said it should be zero after cleaning and etc. We will continue to learn. There is no acceptable standard yet. In fact, that was also being asked to me when we presented this to the board of trustees, and just like what I said today, there is no global standards yet. Many universities are actually telling that it should be um, there should be a process for the teachers to validate uh, all those AI generated content because it's not yet the, wala pa talaga wala talaga kami mahanap na what is acceptable, no, what is acceptable to me. In my case, I will always tell my students, make sure that it should be zero AI content generated.
So other questions or other comments on our new guidelines, especially in the use of generative AI in our courses?
I think I have to pick up, how can one be guided on decision making whether to accept the paper or not? Again, let's let's go to the process of validating to our students. So for example, we have the case this actually, we assisted one department who asked our assistants. There was this, I think, proposal when they run it to Turnitin, it's almost like a 60%. And then we just tell them, we printed, and then we tell the students, this is the result, which part is true, which part is original from you, and so on and so forth. This is what we meant, that we should not be over reliant with the AI, with the Turnitin or any AI detectors. Again, many big universities have make their their stand also on the use of this. This should not be uh, the sole reason why we will not accept um, output of the students, because there is a certain percentage that is not really nice, no, from Turnitin. So that is why you have to go to the process of validation. And I think let's kita naman siguro as a teacher, we know when the students really, how they good in writing, what they are doing, and when it comes to conceptualization, etc. Where do we fall in the AI assessment scale? Am I correct to assume that the university fall on level 5? um w- that that is why, Sir Min, there is actually, no, there is an AI assessment. It's actually called RAM. It's a readiness assessment methods by UNESCO. um, we actually follow all of those guidelines. We try to adapt some of those and then make sure to implement it in accordance to the context of Silliman. That is why we are creating the guidelines in order for us to make sure to be guided. It's difficult, or it's difficult to assume that we are on level 5 implementation, because it's it's while the policy and the implementing guidelines are there, part in the framework is actually on continuous monitoring and evaluation. We still have to monitor. That is why we encourage also different units to develop or to have some research evaluation in your area, in your discipline, and let us know so that we can also assist those topics, that especially on specific components, to be included in the research problem.
Okay, so do we have, all right, so we'll entertain Ma'am Wilma's question. So she's giving a scenario. A faculty visited my office, my capacity as her dean, and presented her students' answers to a take-home test. She claims that 5 of her students use ChatGPT even though she has instructed them not to. Can I fail the students in this test? She questioned the dean.
Mm. There are many points that we can answer that. Thank you, Dean Wawi. I know all faculty members are here. Um, it's like, once you have confirmed to me, no, once you have confirmed that they are using it, and then you tell the students not to do so. Yes, it's just like without AI. If we are telling the students do not cheat, and if they cheat, and for sure we can fail them, that's policy related. But in terms of the implementation of AI, we should go to the process. That is what we wanted every college or every department to do. Again, Turnitin is just a basis of doing it, but we have to go to the process of validation, just to be fair with the students also. Because sometimes, even if they use Skillbot or some other paraphraser, and if they run it to the Turnitin or to any AI detectors tool, it can be detected. But the content, or let's say the content is from them, but the construction and the languaging and the way it is written, it's already very AI. Mao mo ang gimin nga sometimes manggod even if because the students limitation lang is on writing but they have a very good idea, and then what if ang prompt lang is this is my idea, 3 pages idea original, and then ang prompt lang sa students is improve the grammar. Will you allow that? We will actually give that to you. Are you allowing that to your class? Are you allowing that to your students? No, so uh Dinwawi, it really depends. So, this is my answer. If it is in your policy that for this particular, or if the students were informed that for this particular activity they are not allowed to do that, and if it is validated and confirmed that they did that, can you fail? To me, yes. If that is also in your classroom policy or in your college policy.
I think there's a follow-up from Mamawi.
Yeah. But it's not also the responsibility of the teacher not to give take-home tests, knowing that students are vulnerable. So this is now pedagogy. This is what we will stand also that if you feel that chat GPT is not allowed in your class, assignments may not work to you. But for some, maybe assignment will work to them. So again, it's go back to the specific learning outcome, because we look at ChatGPT here as just basically as a teaching tool. Just like before, when we say there was Google, and then there were few or earlier times we don't want the students to go to Google because everything is there, and then later on teachers are now telling go to Google. So something like that lang, no? So can that be a part of the university guidelines, a teacher's responsibility as well? It depends, ma'am. It would be unfair for for all. It would be unfair for teachers that are who will embrace chat GPT or AI because it is relevant and it based on their course learning outcome is acceptable. So that is why we said when we develop the policies, we make sure that it is not too prescriptive to a specific discipline, because there are really disciplines that they are allowing it, and there are also disciplines that are not allowing it.
Okay, so how about the others? Do you still have any questions? But let me just add also to what Sir Dave has said, especially with what we are using, Turnitin, no? For AI generation, it will only read, or it will only check if the entry has at least 300 words, no? So hopefully, that would also be part of your instruction if and when you are allowing your students to make use of generative AI. I think there's another one from Doc Lee.
What if I'm saying as high would be if their prompt is write me 2 paragraphs on exercise. You can actually read the paragraph and they will vary in style between self and AI generated. Is it worth to subscribe instead of using? Yeah. Subscription, it depends also, Dukli. It depends on your utilization, because if your utilization is just for clarity, for improvement of the content, looking at this, the free version is enough, can suffice the need. But if you want a more sophisticated, like creating a video, slicing a video, transcription of the video, and so on and so forth, that cannot be done by the free version. So it depends on your your use, and it depends on your intention to use, on what you want to a a generative AI. Like in ako personally, in my case, there was a time that I subscribed because there were video that I should do. There 300 pages that we wanted to interpret, but that cannot be done by a free version. So it depends. I think the first thing our lessons learned to that Dokli is understand first what is inside of the free what is inside of the premium, meaning what you can do in the premium, because maybe on that particular tool your your purpose may not be available into the premium account. But if you are referring to ChatGPT, parang virtually everything is in ChatGPT in the premium version. Video, audio, transcription, analysis. You don't need naman the subscription to do the statistics. You can do statistics on ChatGPT. You just have to have a very good critical mind in prompting your generative AI. Kasi if you will just say, look at what is the significant difference, may mga kunting error talaga yan. So there are process, no, if you go into the analysis part. But there are literature actually is telling us that ambiguity percentage in many of the generative AI ambiguity and hallucinations in many of the generative AI now is getting lesser and lesser because they are trying to solve it. The provider, the programmers are trying to solve it na.
Are there more concerns before we will have our photo opportunity? So in summary, it's still us integrating or giving generative AI, no, a chance in by integrating it in our courses, but we can be selective of the learning activities that we can incorporate generative AI.
Ako lang balikan siguro si Dean Wawi. Can I fail these students in this test? I think we have to articulate this in our college policies. 'Di ba naaman tayo college policies? I remember in CCS, we have college policies on cheating, no? So we put there that if you are caught to this during this time of the exam, you will be zero. We have levels of disciplinary actions. We can actually do that also in your college policies. Let us know so that we can help actually on how to reword it, how to word it so that it is acceptable in your field, no, especially for specific subjects. But if 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 you feel that generative AI is no to all college or department, I don't think that's practical nowadays. Because we cannot monitor and police students 24/7. No, we might be able to police our students inside our class, but when they got home, most likely they have already um, a free version or free accounts of generative AI. So maybe inside na lang on the specific syllabi. Let's say for example, in every actually assessment, that is the one that I explained, that in every assessment you can put there, let's say for example, in this assignment you are not allowed to. So what will happen? What is the sanction if you are not allowed to? And then the students did or use it after all your confirmation and validation. Kana lang.
Do we still have other questions? I think there are none. So
With regards the form, again, it is actually in the faculty training room. You can download the forms there, the statement of AI declaration. And then may I request also all the deans who are here, kindly send those teachers teaching research, because we will be orienting them on how to tell the students what to do in terms of the AI declaration. I think we cannot really do away with the AI, because I think it is impossible also not to give assignment assignment to our class. There could be assignments mas probably that kung saan tag hunahuna makagamit yun ng estudyante, and then we just have to find a way that the students are properly oriented and guided when it comes to the usage of it. And rest assured also that we will take responsibility of educating the students on making sure that all these guidelines that we are sharing to you is also articulated with them. So mo to akong giingon, no, if there is a need from our department to be part in your orientation, especially on the responsible use of digital technology, please let us know.
Okay, so with that said, no, we end our Q&A here, and I think we will have our photo opportunity before we give the evaluation link. So let's all turn on our webcams. Sir Fred.
Okay. Okay, Mamal. So we have 4 frames. So let's start with the first frame. Just give us your best smile. So for the first frame, 1, 2, 3, smile. Okay, just hold, just give me a minute. Okay, let's go to the second frame. Okay. 1, 2, 3, smile.
Nindot kay background Sir Cookie. Oh.
Okay, let's proceed to the third frame. Okay. 1, 2, 3, smile. Okay. And then we go to the last frame. Okay. 1, 2, 3, smile. Okay, that's it.
Thank
Thank
you,
you very
sir.
much.
To all the deans are here, thank you very much. And if there is a need to have like a provision in your college policy or college manual, um, feel free to invite us so that we can assist you on how to word all these provisions, no, like atong concern ni Dinwawi, para lang protected pod siguro from the office of the dean, nga dili lang nato ibutang tanang responsibility to the office of the dean, because after all, again, we treat AI is just like any other technology tool. And dili man ta moingon nga din pwede na bing mo gamit o Google. Ingon ana ang mindset nga ato ang i-deliver, no, nga the AI is just a teaching tool, and that decision on the use of the teaching tool is still based on appropriateness of the course learning outcomes. Ana lang.
Okay, thank you very much, Sir Dave. So for now, to evaluate and generate your e-certificate, I will give you the steps to how to do it. So allow me to share my screen. I hope you are able to see now this sample MySoul account. So here, all you need to do is just click Faculty Training Room, and then evaluate, and then to evaluate this upscaling session, so all you need to do is just simply click the evaluate and download certificate. So in that case, you will notice 2 activities. You need to evaluate the form, and then after that, you have your valuable feedback. Then automatically you will be generated with an e-certificate of this upscaling session. And to view the upcoming upscaling programs, so all you need to do is just go to upscaling first semester school year 2024-2025. And then you will see here a list of upscaling. So if you click this particular image, then it will redirect you with the GSC portal. So in that case, it will show you the consolidated activities for this semester. And then if you go back, then you will see here, this will be the posting of the recordings according to the key areas. We have the MySol updates. We have the responsible use of digital technology. Then we have the innovations in teaching and learning. And then we have the AI, or artificial intelligence upscaling webinar. So all you need to do is just simply click this particular image, and then it will redirect you with another virtual classroom. And then in that case, you can free to download that particular AI integration of Silliman education. And then for this particular upscaling session, the recordings will be posted here in the integration guidelines. So particularly in the self-learn integration basics, and then here this will be implementing guidelines. So you can see here a specific PowerPoint presentation, and then we will post the recording here via YouTube channel. So I guess that's it. So thank you very much for participating in this upscaling session.